Got something new here. And that's not metal. Stick around. Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back. I'm Scott, Edge of 3D, and I'm here with one of the new lines, or at least three products from one of the new lines that Polymaker released about an hour ago in Anaheim, California at Rapid. So for those of you that aren't watching this right when it's released, that is Tuesday, June 25th at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So I'm releasing this video at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. But anyway, in addition to their Polymax, Polylite, Polyterra, all their poly lines, they're breaking from convention, and these two new lines are not called polys. The first one is Panchroma, and it is going to be on initial release or the initial rollout. They're talking about 160 different color options and surface effects on it. And what it is, what the press release says on it is a new aesthetic product designed to meet growing demands for high quality, visual, stunning 3D prints, offering the widest selection of color and surface finishes. Panchroma is committed to the highest consistency of color for its products and multi-step process monitoring, blah, 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 blah. So in their press release that came out this morning, for 2024, their plan is 160 color options and 4 new color ranges to the market each year. In addition, they are working on a web-based tool that they're hoping to have rolled out by the end of 2024, which color wheel and selector for hue, saturation, brightness, hex code input to get you the closest delta E value, and then be able to visualize your sliced renders in a 3D space using those colors. So that's the Panchroma line. I did not get any of that to test, and quite frankly, my wheelhouse is not pretty color kitsy type prints, that sort of stuff. I do a lot of technical type prints and that sort of stuff. 3D dragsters, 3D death racers, semi-truck trailers, rockets, just all sorts of that kind of stuff. And I just frankly don't use all those bright colors. Your basic color palette pretty much covers what I do. But I do build stuff that requires a lot of strength and likes to break. That's where their second line that they announced this morning really comes into play, and it's called Fiberon. And the Fiberon line is actually they're going to move some of the filaments from the poly line over to Fiberon, and that'll be their PA6, PA612, PA12s, and the petg-cf, which is their electronic safe stuff. But added to that, 3 more products. And let's talk about the first one, PPS carbon fiber, which according to their specs, it's got a heat deflection temperature of over 250 degrees Celsius. And I lost my mouse here, so let me get the mouse to come back. Metal-like stiffness, which I can confirm that. Chemically resistant to acids, alkalines, fuels, and solvents. Naturally flame retardant, UL94V0 standard, and dimensionally stable, insensitive to moisture, compatible with or without a print enclosure. And it's also the most expensive at $69.99 for a 500 gram roll. That puts it basically $140 a kilogram. But this is one of the pieces I printed out in it, and I don't know how well the lighting is going to allow that to show up. And I'm going to get this up here, and hopefully the mic picks this up. Sounds like metal. Feels like metal. Plastic doesn't have that carry-on ring that you hear after I flick it. you hear that high-pitched ting, and then there's a carry-on ring afterwards. So, it's not metal, it's plastic, but you'd be hard-pressed to fool somebody into thinking this was plastic if they couldn't actually look at it. Just by the way it feels, if you tap on it with something metallic, it gives you a metallic ring. If you flick the fins on here, they give you a metallic ring, and this stuff is hard. I mean, it is hard. Now, one of the caveats to this is, this spool right here is dry. I just took it out of a dry box. So before I left for open sauce, I put this in a dryer, even though it was already showing as dry, and I dried it for an additional 48 hours on the high setting. I left for open sauce, left it in the sealed up box. When I got home earlier this week, well, according to this video, now it's last week, it was only setting at 11% moisture in that box. But I'm going to show you something here. I don't unspool too much of it. You're not just going to throw this in your bamboo or something like that, your Creality K1 or anything, and expect it to work. There's got to be considerations made for the filament path because it does not bend. See there? So, just exactly like wet filament, and this is as dry as you can get. You can't bend it much, it will snap. Now, I'll put a video up here of this being printed while we're talking about it. Show you the temperatures that I was running it on my Trident and the speeds and stuff. Came out fantastic. Obviously my Trident's enclosed, so it was printing in an enclosed environment, and absolutely wonderful. No failure. Bed plate adhesion was excellent. I was running it on a smooth PEI plate, and I did have my version of Stickum stuff on the bed plate. It's some homemade stuff that I make. I'll put a link to the formula down in the description if you want to make the bed adhesion stuff. But that's the pps-cf, and again, $69.99 for 500 grams makes it $140 a kilogram. So it's not something just to buy and print stuff with. You got to really have a use case for this. Parts for your car, injection molding dies, anything like that. I mean, what can I say? It's as good as metal. The next one is a PET carbon fiber, which the actual name on it is PET-cf17, and it is a polyethylene whatever PET stands for without the G, so it doesn't have the glycol modifier in it. And I printed several things in the PET. This one comes in at $24.99 per 500 grams, so $49.98 a kilogram. But I printed a few print-in-place models with it, and show you here what they are. And also up here or over here somewhere you'll see a video I did. I ran some 360 videos of these. But this is a print-in-place fidget gear. Absolutely perfect. Printed it on a Trident. I did tune for this filament. I did run the pressure advance and temp tower test on this stuff before I printed it. The pps-cf, no, I just took a shot in the dark and entered numbers based off the label here. The label says nozzle temperature 320 to 350 and heated chamber recommended but not required, bed temp up to 80°C. I actually ran my bed at like 120, I think, when I was printing this. This right here, tuned it, printed it. I have not had a failure with it yet, but this is the PET carbon fiber. And it's designed for high-speed prototyping, superior surface texture and finish, and you can see the surface texture on there turned out really good. Obviously that's the side that was down on the smooth build plate. This is the top side, and top layer surface is not really a function of the filament as much as it is the machine tuning, and this one could use some work. A carabiner, don't ask me why, I just think it's a cool model. It's not a print and place, it actually prints in multiple pieces. But there's a carabiner that I printed. Now, this is really where this stuff shines at. That's a front axle for one of my 3D printed top fuel dragsters, and that's done in all PET carbon fiber. Absolutely beautiful surface finish. Come out wonderful. Again, the top surface could use a little tuning. And finally, this is just to kind of show the surface quality. And I don't know how well the lights will pick it up in here, but there's a video running right up here that shows this up close and shows the surface quality. There is not a layer line to be found in any of these. You cannot find the layer lines. That's the PET carbon fiber, the PET-cf17. Here's the roll of it. Feels and acts a lot like PETG, and you can bend it without it snapping like the PPS. And finally, the one I was waiting for, and I've already built a death racer out of this material. It's actually on display at Rapid in Anaheim, California right now. This is the PETG carbon fiber, and the actual full name is PETG-RCF08. 1999, 500 kilograms, so $39.98 for $19.99 for 500 grams. Makes it $39.98 a kilogram. Now, something about this. The carbon fiber in here is carbon fiber that is recycled from end-of-life wind turbine blades, and it's certified through the Global Recycling Standard by TÜV Rheinland. So it's using recycled carbon fiber for this. And they say it's the PLA of engineering materials. I would have to agree. This stuff is absolutely phenomenal to print with. The prints turn out just beautiful. And if I ever get the death racer back that I built for the event, I'll show it off, but I sent it to Polymaker and we'll probably never see it again. It's going to be Nick's death racer now. But same thing, I did the same things with it. This is a print in place fidget wheel. A little bit different than this one, so I could tell them apart, the designs in the gears. And same thing, print quality on the surface turned out beautiful. Top layer, that's a function of the machine, not the filament. Here's a turbine wheel on that. Now remember the sound of the PPS. Hear the ring? Now let's listen to the sound of the PETG. No ring. Sounds like plastic. And yes, it didn't finish printing all the way, and that wasn't because of the printer or the filament. That was the idiot at the computer that hit unload filament and selected the wrong printer when he hit the unload filament macro. Same thing, printed a carabiner right here. Works just exactly like the PET one did. This is PETG carbon fiber. Works beautifully. I just think these are awesome models. I find different uses for them. Mostly just cluttering my desk. Same thing, small rocket on this one, but I did that for surface finish, and not sure how well the camera will pick that up, but the video will run right here showing it up close on that. So that's the PETG carbon fiber. It's a little more expensive than regular PETG. Strength-wise, I haven't been able to do any testing on that yet. I do have some tools ordered that I'm going to build a couple of test stations so I can test some different strengths on it. And Finally, this is not part of the Fiberon line, but just to give you an idea, this is their PLA carbon fiber. So let's, and there's some visual difference in it. The PLA carbon fiber has a more grayish appearance to it. So that's PLA carbon fiber here. This is the petg carbon fiber here. Printed on 2 different printers too, by the way. This one was actually done on a bamboo. This one was done on a Trident. And just for surface quality, I printed a rocket there. I'll throw a video of that up as well. So that's the 2 new filament lines from Polymaker that were released today. They released them at Rapid in Anaheim, and like I say, the first one is the color one called Panchroma. Links to everything will be in the video description down below. I'm not sure how quick their website will update, but it should be, by the time this video drops, you should be able to look at it on their website, or if not, very soon. Now this stuff was all sent to me by Polymaker to test with, and obviously with the PETG, they sent me several rolls of this so I could get them a big death racer built to have at the event this week to use to show off the filament. So I got a couple of quick little videos of it where I was running around on the floor. I'll show that here somewhere. So that is it. That's the new Polymaker filament. I really encourage you to check it out. The PETG and the PET shouldn't have any problem printing it with a bamboo, a Creality K1, anything like that. I don't have an open printer anymore to even test anything open air other than this one, and that one is built to print rubber, not filament, so really no good for testing it. I might throw some in there and see what it does. But as far as your enclosed off-the-shelf printers, these materials should work fine. If you want to get into this stuff here, and you want to make instruments, symbols, gears, stuff like that, gonna have to do a little work on your printer. Gonna have to get a hot end that can take the temperatures. It says it doesn't need to be enclosed. I printed it with it enclosed. In fact, I think my chamber on this one here was running up around in the mid-50s. The video has the numbers on it there. Awesome stuff. Look forward to seeing what else they come out with. Keep an eye out for the Panchroma stuff. And as always, I appreciate each and every one of you that take the time to watch these videos all the way through to the end. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And as always, peace out.